With as many noise-canceling headphone releases this October, you might have missed the Sennheiser ACCENTUM Wireless. If you give me 5 minutes, here's why Bose should be afraid of these $180 headphones. The Sennheiser ACCENTUM Wireless Headphones get a lot right, and a lot more than you're probably thinking $180 is going to get you. For starters, Sennheiser paid very close attention to reducing the mass of their headphones, and even though these are mainly plastic, it's actually kind of nice. It's a lot easier to get comfortable with headphones that don't have a lot of heft to them. Pads are nice and deep, and the band is flexible enough to meet your head where it's at. However, there's not all good news. This leatherette, not so great for people who wear glasses. And I say that because this type of material doesn't do a great job of recreating a seal if you interrupt it with something like a glasses arm. Most people won't ever really need to care about this so much, but it is something to be aware of, especially given some of the other shortcomings I'll get to a little bit later. The Sennheiser ACCENTUM uses Bluetooth 5.2, which is a bit of a bummer, meaning that it may not get the LE audio features later on down the road. However, it does also allow you the use of SBC, AAC, aptX, aptX HD, and a few other upgrades for telephony. Now, these can be used wireless or wired. But Chris, you say, there's no headphone jack. Yes, I know. This USB-C port, not just for charging. It can handle audio over USB as well, which is something that Bose headphones cannot do, and an increasing number of ANC headphones will do. So even if you're not satisfied with the wireless performance of these headphones, you can just grab a USB-C cable and go from there, assuming your source device supports it. Battery life, great. We tested it at 46 hours. Sennheiser advertises 50. It's got an 800 milliamp hour battery, so even if you charge at normal speeds, you should be able to get a few hours of listening time for over a couple minutes. So how does the Sennheiser ACCENTUM Wireless sound? Well, they sound pretty good actually, especially for 180 bucks. But there's a couple of foibles in there that, may give you a little bit of a pause, but you can EQ the worst ones away. For example, there's a spike in the sub bass, which you can tone down using the Sennheiser Smart Control app or the EQ app of your choice. I turned it down about 3 or 4 decibels. You may do less. That's okay. The more interesting hiccup is the underemphasis at 4 kilohertz, which is a bit of a drop. You're not really going to hear that as much. I mean, if you're looking for it, yeah, but in general, if you're listening to tunes on the subway or in an airplane or in a noisy environment, it's really not going to be much of a deal. It's just one of those things that looks really scary on a chart, but isn't so bad in real life. If you're looking for top flight ANC, well, these ain't it. Despite the fact that the Sennheiser ACCENTUM Wireless goes toe-to-toe with a lot of the top flight headphones on the market, the truth of the matter is that their ANC is a little bit subpar, even if it's good enough for most people. That said, being able to reduce 75% of loudness about your outside surroundings isn't bad. It's just not as good as some other headphones. And probably the most disappointing aspect of these headphones is the microphone performance. If you're on a Zoom call or if you're in a quiet environment, the microphone works great. The 2 MEMS mics with beamforming make sure that your voice is heard fairly clearly. And the frequency response shows that there's some tailoring going on to help your voice sound better. However, this headset has some noise rejection issues, especially if you're in a very windy area. But if you'd like to hear for yourself how these perform, go to the website. We've got lots of samples. So, what does the Sennheiser ACCENTUM have to offer over the Bose QuietComfort headphones? Well, a lot, really. Aside from the price tag, which is just over half of the Bose headphones, you're getting USB-C audio, Bluetooth 5.2 with multi-point, a much more fleshed out app, a little bit lighter headphones, and better sound quality by a lot. If you ask me, I would pick these 9 times out of 10. Now, there are a few situations where you would want the Bose headphones. For example, if you really need that extra noise canceling. But at under $200, I can't really complain a whole heck of a lot about that. If you're looking for budget alternatives to the Sennheiser ACCENTUM Wireless, you're going to be looking for a long time. And truth be told, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would work very well in this instance. For example, the closest I can come is the Sony WH-CH720N, and that doesn't compare. The sound quality is not as good, even if the ANC is comparable, and the price is hard to argue with. But still, Would you rather pay $130 for headphones that you're not really very happy about, or $180 on headphones that you are really happy about? And if my fake skin watch is reading correctly, that's 5 minutes. Thank you for joining us here at SoundGuys, and as always, happy listening.